Nope.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Dig a Little Deeper. This week, we're going to talk about the Disney Cruise Line. I'm joined by my husband and co-founder of LaughingPlace.com, Doobie Mosley. I'm Rebecca. Over there is Jeremiah Good. And down there on the go at MCO is Shelly.
Hey, everybody.
Woohoo! I'm excited.
I feel bad. I didn't get to give Jeremiah one of his cool intros like I normally do.
Well, go ahead.
There we have the chief of Central Florida theme parks for Laughing Place, Jeremiah Good. That wasn't very fun.
No, not really.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right. So this is a show called Dig a Little Deeper. That's the show where we take a Disney topic, we look at it right here, and then we dig a little deeper. And today, that topic is going to be the Disney magic. Not Disney magic in general. That's way too big a topic. We mean the Disney magic. We're going to discuss the Disney magic in some degree of depth. There's a lot to this place.
Cool.
Wow, epic fail. That was kind of harsh, Mike.
No, so true.
The Disney magic, there's a lot to it. So we will try to get to some depth, but man, it's such a big topic. But we're going to start with last week's show, because last week we talked about the Main Street Electrical Parade, and we forgot something very, very important. Jeremiah had a story to tell us, and like right after the show, Jeremiah texts us and goes, "Oh shoot, I forgot to tell my blah 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 story." And I'm like, "No, you don't get away with that." So, Jeremiah, what did you forget to tell us last week?
So for those of you who don't watch the park walk and talks, one, shame on you. Two, Doobie, do you have a metal plate in your head?
I do, yeah. Don't you?
No. So Doobie and I do the park walk and talks. Tomorrow or Tuesday I'll be at the Disney's Hollywood Studios. So tune in and watch Doobie make fun of all of these stories that I've told over the year. Literally the year now. So last week when we were talking about the Main Street Electrical Parade, last season of the Main Street Electrical Parade, I was working at Universal Studios Hollywood, and they put out audition notices. And me and my friend, neither one of us have any dancing abilities, anything. We decided to, hey, it's a history-making thing, so we should go do it. So we went down, and it was the rehearsal hall that's behind Disneyland, so that was cool. We got to go in there, and they're like, yay! And they teach us a dance.
Didn't happen, Jeremiah, huh?
I have no ability at all. But anyway, so they teach us the dance, and then the whole thing is they put everybody in lines, and then you just dance through the hall, and then there are people at the end, the people in charge, and they go, okay, left you stay, right you leave. So get down there, and I don't even remember which dance it was. I know that the basic stuff they were teaching us was like, for the guys, the step for the canopy that holds the Cinderella dancers. So I get down to the end, and they go, "You're out." Of course. So I wasn't devastated. It was all just more fun. As I'm leaving, I get stopped at the door just outside by one of the casting people. They say, unfortunately, we can't cast you as anything for the electric parade, but you had such great energy and you were lots of fun and you were enjoying it. And they took a picture of me and took down all my information. They're like, if something comes up, we'd love to cast you. Yeah, like 3 weeks later, my phone number got changed.
Oh
no!
No, Jeremiah.
No, Jeremiah missed out.
I feel like we need to help make his dreams come true somehow. Like every week, Jeremiah can play a different character that he could have been through the years.
Oh, there we go.
No, I'm good.
By the way, I know you said you don't even remember. That's a lie. Stand up, do the dance.
I could not even tell you anything about it. Like, I didn't remember this story. I mean, it was so far in my memory, I didn't remember the story until we were done.
Well, we're getting ready to talk about the Disney magic, a different kind of Disney magic. This one floats on water.
Nothing more magical than the thought of Jeremiah dancing. But yes, and as Mike said, it's a cruise ship, so we should not dig too deep.
Nope, we won't.
But okay. So the Disney magic set sail July 30th, 1998. Michael Eisner said, "Hey, we have conquered the land. Let's conquer the sea." They created the Disney Cruise Line. Now, before this, of course, there was the Big Red Boat, which was a Premier Cruise Lines, and Disney kind of did a partnership with them. They licensed Disney, they had characters and stuff, but that was in no way a Disney ship. Disney said, "Let's do." Really? I really like it. I was thinking about wearing it even beyond the show.
No, it's very
okay, well,
go ahead. Sorry.
So the launched in 1998. They just had one ship at the time, the Disney Magic. Although the second ship, the Wonder, was really already well under construction. It's a large ship, but not a mega ship. 984 feet, 11 decks, can have as many as 2,700 passengers. So even at the time of its launch, it was nowhere near their largest ship out there. And now it's not even considered, it's almost like a tugboat, but very beautiful. It's got the Art Deco style. A lot of you who may have seen I should show it. This is from the christening way back in 1998. If you've seen other cruise ships, like a Royal Caribbean or something these days, you'll notice they barely look like boats. They're just big boxes a lot of time. It was very important for Disney to get the classic cruise ship aesthetic right. So they really wanted it to look like a classic ocean liner. They have two funnels here, which is, you never see a ship anymore with two funnels because modern ships only need one. And in fact, this second funnel, or perhaps this second funnel, I can never remember, is not even a real funnel. It's just there for show.
I think it's the second one that's the fake
one in back. It's
Yeah.
just there for show, and they actually have depending on the ship, they may have a conference room up there or something, or a club. I think when this originally opened, it was a sports bar up there, but it's changed over the years. So anyway, this is the look of the Disney Magic. That was the idea behind the Disney Magic, and of course, they wanted to create a place where you could have Disney Magic at sea, although a little toned down. It isn't in no way overwhelming with Disney. There's a lot of subtle touches on the cruise ship. Some overt. The beach background music is pretty much all Disney, but as you look around, you don't just see Disney characters everywhere, unless you look really closely, and you can see it certain places. So anyway, that's kind of an overview of the idea behind the Disney Magic. Go ahead, Jeremiah.
What about the colors of the ship? Isn't that character unto itself?
Wait a second. So as I look at this, I am starting to get a feeling that this may be intended to be. Is that the Evil Queen?
No.
Oh, what were you thinking, Jeremiah?
Well, I see black and red and yellow.
Technically, it's Monica Blue, but I see what you're talking about.
Is
Yes.
it Monica Blue?
Are you not familiar with this story?
I am, but I was setting it up for you to tell the story because
Oh.
I didn't know
See,
that it was Monica
we do.
Blue.
We
Sorry,
go.
I didn't think. I'm used to, I didn't know someone who could be such an entertainer was also that good of a. Why don't you tell a story, Jeremiah? You're a historian.
No, when it comes to cruise line, I defer to you guys. I've done 4 where you guys have done what, 33?
I wish we'll get there. So the color there is not actually black. I think it was
It's an incredibly deep indigo, so it's right on that edge of blue and black.
And named after a cast member. I think it was like a secretary or something who came up with the exact color, and they named it after her, Monica Blue. I believe the reason being they weren't allowed to do a solid black there, but because when you're on sea, you have rules you have to follow. Like the lifeboats are yellow to be reminiscent of Mickey's shoes, but lifeboats are traditionally orange on cruise ships, and they actually had to get special permission from Mr. Maritime to be able to do them in yellow. So They petitioned Mr. Maritime, and he said, yeah, we can do this. We can do this. So Mr. Maritime's got a lot of power.
Got a lot of power, yeah.
So, and of course, they also built, they had to have a place reminiscent of Disney for you to wait for your ship. So at Port Canaveral, they built the Disney Terminal, which is a beautiful terminal. Really nice, really Disney inside. Really wish I had picked a couple of pictures of that to show you here. And inside that terminal, they actually have a model of the Disney Magic, which is really cool. Because it's a cutaway model, so you can go around the back and you can see what it looks like inside. And I can remember our first trip there, our first cruise back in 2006. That's obviously your first stop, and you're just sitting there going, I know what that is. I can't wait to go there. And it's actually pretty exciting. And they have Mickey in there usually to take pictures with you and such. So they also sell food, which is funny because just wait till you get on the ship. It's all included. But anyway, so the Disney Magic, that's it. Lots of innovations on the Disney Magic. I believe Disney initiated the concept of rotational dining. So most cruise ships have one large dining room where you go to each night, which is fun, but not as fun as Disney did, where they have 3 smaller dining rooms. So each night, or at least for 3 nights, you go to a different location, each with its own theme. But, and here's the special part, your servers follow you from location to location. They get to know you, your wants, your needs, your desires, your goals in life, and they make sure my chocolate milk is sitting there when I get to my table, and I'm so excited about that every night. So that was one of the many innovations on the Disney Cruise Line. I'm sure there are many others, and perhaps one of you would like to stop me from monopolizing this conversation.
I was just enjoying it because you started talking about eating, and I just remember just how excited I was because, like, that's my favorite thing about no, not my favorite thing, but one of my favorite things is that those waiters go with you, and so you never have to reorder your drink or do anything. And if you like the tuna stack from a certain restaurant, that just appears magically at other restaurants, and it's really, really nice. I have some food allergies, so you really don't have to like go through everything, and they've already talked to the chefs, so you know what you can and can't eat. Like, it's my favorite.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
I'm talking about the food the whole time.
There is Port Canaveral, the Disney Cruise Terminal there. Beautiful on the outside, also beautiful on the inside. So there are 3 restaurants on the Disney Magic when it launched. So before I go on, let me say this from the outset. Disney Magic launched in 1998. In 2013, it went through a major innovation. So it's kind of weird talking about the Disney Magic because you can be talking about it then or you can be talking about it now. There you can see Mickey and Minnie with the model in the background. It's a huge model. You may have been thinking we were talking like this that Rebecca's been holding. It was larger than that, much larger than that. So I'm going to start with what it was like in 1998 in terms of the dining. So there were 3 restaurants: Animator's Palette, Lumiere's, and Parrot Key. Animator's Palette was kind of the fun restaurant. They had this cool thing where you would go in there and it would be all black and white. And then throughout the course of your meal, it would slowly change into color. And, this is one of those things where when you're watching Disney Channel and reading Disney Magazine before your first cruise and you just can't wait to experience this thing of this restaurant slowly changing into color. And then once you get there and it actually happens, not quite as cool as you imagined.
Oh, I thought it was so much fun.
I really loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently I'm wrong.
No. Doobie was unimpressed with it. I still enjoyed it, and I know others have as well. Go ahead, Jeremiah and Shelley.
Well, my first cruise was on the Dream, which Animator's Palette there is much more the here's Crush talking to you. So I didn't get to experience this. But when I finally got a chance to sit in there and watch it, and then as it leads up to everything and everything comes alive, I was like, I forgot about the food altogether.
I was like really focused on drawing my person. So you first, like when you sit down and they give you the placemat to draw your person that looks like you, I was like so intensely like concentrated and focused on this thing that I totally was like, just whatever, I'm drawing.
Okay, so that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good
quick.
question. Go for it.
I found it to be okay, Mike. you're right. There are tight spaces, and it will be a challenge as far as that goes. But they are accommodating of that. They do have it is wide enough, and like they also have showers and such that are accessible, and all that type of thing as well. So and then they have wheelchairs at the beach that you can swap out. So as you get to the sand portion, then there is a different type of chair that's accessible to the sand. So you can, in essence, be, have access all the way down to the shoreline. So, just to answer that. Oh, and by the way, these are just decor that you can get in your hotel room because it's like just a little picture. But because a ship has a metal ceiling and floor, they can attach it to the ceiling. And so when you walk in, if you buy one of these voyage packages, you can walk in and you'll have these hanging all over your room. So we had these. I know we purchased a set one time for our friend who was having a birthday, and it had like happy birthday ones. And then now with the Star Wars Day or the Marvel Day, you can have decor around that as well.
Yes, pretty exciting to walk in your room and see something like that. So that was Animator's Palette. And then Lumiere's is kind of the Francais restaurant in the Lobé, where you walk in and there it is. And it's kind of the more elegant looking. And, so obviously you rotate among the three. So on any given night, each one is filled with a different group of people. So you're hoping that on your formal night, you can be in Lumiere's. But sometimes on your formal night, you end up in, Parrot Key, and it's just not quite as special. But it's still extremely special. And then the third restaurant, and here you can see, this is the original lobby. It looks different now, but this is the lobby back in 1998, or in our case, 2006. And there's Lumiere's restaurant right behind it, right off the lobby. Rebecca there is not normally a part of it unless she's on your cruise with you, but the other guy, Mickey, is always there. Jeremiah has his model. Very cool. Okay, good.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, each ship has its own, what is that called? Atrium statue?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Atrium statue.
So let's see. And then the third restaurant used to be Parrot Key, and it was definitely the third restaurant on the ships. No particular theme other than Caribbean. But more recently in 2013, they changed it to Rapunzel's restaurant and Rapunzel's Royal Table. And now that's the hip place to be on any given night because they have a very, very fun show and experience in there that I think we'll show some pictures of a little bit later. And then
here's the Parrot Key picture.
Yeah, here's a cool picture of Parrot Key again from back in 2006, our first cruise.
You can see here's there's kind of like a jungle-y element like on the wall. It had a lot of like tropical decor and parrot looking thing, parrots in it. So obviously to go with the Parrot Key theme.
And it's on deck 3, and there are plenty of big windows. So for some reason, this seemed to be the one location, and it's full forward as full aft as are all the restaurants. Sorry, and for some reason that seemed to be the restaurant where people who tended to get seasick got seasick. And
I'll be honest, when we book a trip, if our first evening we are in, I don't tend to eat dinner that first night if we're aft, because I have found that it is more challenging for me because the way the cruise works is once you exit out into the open ocean area, that's when the stabilizers are able to kick in because of the way the design is and everything. And so you do feel more motion of the boat until those stabilizers kick in. And so for me, I find I need to be up top, lots of fresh air, horizon to look at and everything until those stabilizers have really kicked in, because up until then, I'm a little bit more susceptible to the motion of the ocean.
That's so true. That first night, I know on my first cruise, we had Animator's Palette our first night. And I was like, oh, I was so excited, but I could not handle it because it was a lot to it was overwhelming sensory-wise, and then that whole motion of the ocean thing.
Crossing the ocean for the state of locomotion. Yep. Or OMD song there. You guys get me. I feel so lucky. I have never felt the least bit seasick on a cruise, queasy. When it gets rough, I just enjoy it. I'm never nervous. I feel very lucky because I know my wife is not nervous at all, but you can't help what your stomach does. So I'm just very lucky that I don't experience that at all. So I'm curious, you guys, Rapunzel's table, Parrot Key, Lumiere's Animator's Palette. What do you guys like on the Disney Magic?
I have only eaten an Animator's Palette.
My bad for not calling out one of you first. Jeremiah.
I never ate at Parrot. That was gone. My first cruise was 2019. I had the captain, and he signed it on that. So that's the only reason I actually know. And Rapunzel's was just so much fun. Like I walked in kind of going, okay, it's just going to be a little dinner show. But yeah, that was the show that they did. The overall atmosphere, having the ruffians running around and making fun of you, it was lots of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Rapunzel was a blast. The location itself is really beautiful with the woodwork and the murals and the fabric on the chair. I mean, just bringing it like you're at an event in Corona, which has a different feel now, but an event in Corona, the Kingdom of Corona, is really, really well done. They even have Pascal hidden among the decor in a few places, and then throughout your meal, Rapunzel and various other of her performing troupe stop by your table.
And Eugene, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's there as well.
Yeah.
They sing. They close it out with the "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?"
Yeah, that's what. No, I don't think so. I think I found the light. Right
there, you go. Yeah, sure.
And you can get one of these.
I see the light.
At last I see the light.
So they also have the. I don't know where mine is. That's the only reason. The Pascal light up for the cup.
Oh, very cool. They barely had this when we were there.
Yeah, so those, like, everybody is diving after those, but the Pascals were so cute. I had people sending me messages, like I would get them when I got Wi-Fi, and they'd be like, please get me one of those. I think I brought back like 5 of them for people, like, please.
Oh,
sure.
That's cute. I would have been one of those.
I
know.
I'll try.
Somehow I didn't get one of those, but okay, whatever.
How about you, Shelley?
I've only ever been on the Magic for Media events, so they usually just put us in the Animator's Palette for those.
Well, nice though. Good choice. How about you, Rebecca? Of those 4?
Okay, so Parrot Key would be at the bottom of my list. Rapunzel's would be a little bit. Let's see. Then it would be, okay, so Parrot Key, Animator's Palette, and then Rapunzel's, and then Lumiere's.
Lumiere's at the top?
I really love Lumiere's. What
about Cabanas?
Getting
there.
That's
not part of the rotation. So
I love Lumiere's too. I'm with you on Lumiere's. There's as much as I love rotational dining, I like being in the elegant place on a cruise ship. That makes me happy. Because I'm such a dapper guy, I fit right in. Mike's favorite is the bar. Yes.
Did you guys do the ruffian takeover after, or did they have the ruffian takeover of the bar?
Yes.
After Rapunzel's, where you
into the
yeah.
So.
Oh wait, there it is.
Yeah. So O'Gill's Pub, formerly Diversions, one of the pubs in the adult area. Gets a complete takeover for Rapunzel Night. They don't call it Rapunzel Night. What do they? Do they have a name for it? Tangled Night?
No, it's the night when Tangled appears as the show.
That's right.
Yeah. And so that same evening, when Tangled is the show in the main theater, then you also have this under new management happens at O'Gill's.
And Iago comes out and makes fun of the original show.
Yeah, exactly.
I got such bad vibes when it said like they had the under new management. I'm like, if Iago pops out, I'm out. I'm out.
Is Luke trying to kiss up to Doobie here? Because
I know, huh? That's Doobie's favorite.
I love that show. But the work, I remember we went and checked out the bar before it opened, before dinner, and we were amazed. We were so impressed by how well they took it over. The tablecloths over every table and changing a lot of the decor.
I hit a button and everybody went away. Sorry, guys. I hit a button and you all disappeared.
They didn't know it. They just disappeared for us.
Sorry. What you did for us.
Disappear.
Pretty bad.
But really impressed with how they take over O'Gill's Pub and turn it into, what is it called, Jeremiah?
The Snuggly Duckling.
The Snuggly Duckling, yes. So, okay, so back to the dining. Then up top, originally they had Topsiders Buffet, now called Cabanas to match every other cruise ship. It used to be different names for different ships, and that's the buffet, which is open breakfast and lunch, and then it's also open for dinner. Sometimes as buffet, sometimes as table service. Are you guys a fan of? Not you, Shelley, Jeremiah, Rebecca. You guys like the buffet there? Do you try to avoid the buffet on the cruise ship?
No, I love Cabanas. I especially the design where it looks like it's water and then to shore. With the carpeting is really clever. And sitting out on the back of the ship and looking out onto the water, these are some of my favorite places to go grab some food. And even if I've eaten already, I'll go there and grab a little snack or something because I like it. The other thing I do is I go there and get food and then take it to the theater, like to watch a movie. I get like an olive, put a bunch of olives in a cup, and then go to the movie.
Traditional movie fare.
Yeah, enjoy olives while I watch my movie.
You prefer olive salted or with butter? Or?
No. It's like marinated olives, and it's wonderful.
Do you avoid the buffet, Jeremiah? Are you a fan too?
Oh no, I enjoy Cabanas. Cabanas is always like, when we get on the boat for the first time, Cabanas is usually my first stop. I don't eat until I get there. And then I'll usually get their, whatever they suggest for the specialty non-alcoholic drink of mixing this, which is always one of my favorites with the servers giving me little tips and secrets.
Yeah, for sure. I like to go there for breakfast. I usually get up a bit earlier than everybody else and get out. Used to be because I had to work all the time. So go there and grab some breakfast and park someplace. And very nice way to start the day, just looking at the water. It's peaceful. No one else gets up early, so kind of have the ship to yourself. And then, of course, the reason we actually go on the cruise ship is a location called Palo, the high-end restaurant, the additional charge restaurant. You pay a little more to go there. I think our first time there in 2006, it was $10, which is laughable. They actually charge a reasonable amount now. But still, I mean, nothing compared to actually going out to eat. And 18 and over, adults only, reservation required, open for dinner and also open for brunch on sea day. A brunch, as you can see here. This is just a tiny bit of the brunch spread. And oh my,
so good.
There is no better place on earth. Seriously, Palo's the place. Anybody not agree with that?
It's only, I think it's only $30 now for the upgrade for that, which, yes, it's still a bit, but it's, Palo is definitely worth it on the food side for the upgrade.
Yeah, Palo, and this is just the pre-cooked, the pre-food, the pastries and stuff. They also have a menu, and you order off the menu. You can get as much as you want. If you don't order enough, they'll just bring you some. It's just all a flat fee. Oh, Palo.
So good.
So Palo had a look back in 1998 of a certain way. I think I know we have at least one picture there of Palo in 1998. And then, we were looking at them. And then, again, with the 2013 change, I wouldn't say upgrade, they changed it. And it basically now matches the other ships. But still, same grade food, same grade service. If you are going to Disney Cruise, especially if you have more than 3 nights, if you only have 3 nights, it's hard to tell you not to do your rotational dining because it's worth it to see all the restaurants. But if you have any more than 3 nights, or if you have a sea day and can do the brunch, I can't recommend highly enough. Go to Palo, give it a shot. it's just an amazing, amazing experience. Adults only is really kind of nice. I mean, the ship is not overrun by kids by a long shot, but still to go to a place that's adults only, that's just quiet. If you have an SO, it's kind of romantic. Just can't recommend enough. Go to Palo. That's really the only reason I wanted to do this.
Just drive out there now, get on the ship, and just go to Palo.
I would
I would if I could.
Doobie has another favorite spot on a cruise ship, and that would be
Deck
4. And the Deck 4 is like one of the few areas I would say of the Disney Magic that with that transition they had in 2013, it didn't change.
Nope.
It was pretty. Nope. It's like these are pictures we took on our cruise back in 2006, and then I think I can probably find a picture from the deck in 2014. No, he didn't pull up one of those. Okay. Oh wait, nope, there it is.
2018, yeah.
Yeah. See, there you go. 2018, Doobie relaxing in the same place, but it's not going to pop over there for me. Ta-da!
Things don't change because Deck 4 is perfect, and there is no reason to ever change it.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's on all 4 ships, always Deck 4. If Wish doesn't have it, I'm going to boycott.
But do they have a Deck 13?
Question.
Deck 4 is also allows you to have a complete walk all the way around the ship, so that it's used also as a fitness track, a walking track. So there's that. You can also find some shuffleboard to enjoy on Deck 4, and this is where the assembly stations are. So if there was an emergency, this is where you would gather, and you learn about that when you first arrive on ship. It used to be that you would have an actual physical gathering on those, but they've started handling that a little bit differently now. So
one of the cool things about being on a ship, in my opinion, is you basically move into a giant hotel with the same people for 7 days or however long the trip is. And so you get to see the same people over and over and over again and kind of get to know them in ways high, especially since, some of the same people have kind of the same routine. So if you like trivia, you see the trivia people over and over. If you're an early riser, you see the same early risers over and over. You also get to see the crew over and over. And one of the things I love to do was just go sit on Deck 4 early in the morning. So I got my work done before I, went and got back to the family because they're probably still asleep. I just go sit on Deck 4 for a while. And one of my most fun things was seeing Captain Tom, the captain of the cruise ship, just out doing his morning jog, no uniform, obviously, because he's off duty, doing his morning jog around Deck 4 while I'm just sitting there chilling on the deck chair because I don't do morning jogs. And that was fun. That was cool. So anyway, let's see. What else on the staterooms? So if you're going to go on a Disney cruise, you probably want to stay somewhere and sleep. Rebecca there is right now is a great place to sleep. The giant windows, I do recommend those.
They're found all throughout the ship.
Yeah, and you will see people they're padded there for a reason. They're meant to be laid in, and you will see people laying in them all over the place.
Here's another place I like to sleep on the ship. Nice chair, sleep there.
But if you insist on having an actual room, they do provide them. And once again, Disney did some innovation with their staterooms. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they are the first cruise ship to where they standardized the split bathroom. And it's fun watching vlogs of people going on cruises on YouTube, and they're just amazed when they see this. And it's almost a no-brainer, but they have split out the shower from the rest of the restroom. We're going to go I love Lucy rules here, but they split out the shower from the rest of the restroom. And so that while someone's taking a shower, other people can do other things. And that way, people, you can get ready faster in the morning. And here's a nice view of the stateroom. They tend to have a curtain because they sleep 3 or 4. So a couple people in the bed, and you can curtain kind of block things off. And then that couch will fold out. And of course, they'll do it for you. You don't do anything on a cruise, nothing. You go for dinner, you come back, all of a sudden this couch is a bed. And the next day, you go out for breakfast, you come back, all of a sudden your bed's a couch. It's like magic on a Disney cruise.
But Doobie, can we talk about something, you and I being of the taller size? The showers are not meant for anybody over the size of like 5'2".
I don't disagree with that, but that's not a problem. Were you going to give the ultimate Disney Cruise Line tip?
what is my ultimate Disney Cruise Line tip to back pain medicine? So when you have to scrunch over like that.
But you're going to say, don't take a shower.
Apparently Jeremiah doesn't know.
No, Jeremiah, come on.
No.
This is the gym, a part of the spa upstairs. The spa has some wonderful showers. You don't have to go to the spa to use a shower. And my normal routine was to get up, go to work, go to the spa, take a nice, luxurious, roomy shower, get changed, and then go back to the room. No one looks at you funny. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. The showers aren't being overused where you're taking it away from someone else. If you're a big guy, a tall guy, or you just want a little bit more room or privacy, go take your shower in the spa.
In the spa?
In the spa.
In the spa. We're not talking about the ones that you pay the fee for that have like the fragrances. They're not; those aren't for cleaning. Those are for luxuriating. We're talking about the ones that are off the fitness center that are, meant for you to freshen up after you've been, working out.
The dressing room.
Those are amazing. They have a dressing room and everything.
And it's they have the nice towels in there. They have robes in there.
This was a tip we were giving.
Nicer.
Yeah, we were
nicer in the spa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's okay. No one cares.
Yep,
it's perfectly fine.
They told us
every morning, hi, how you doing? Just going to take a shower. Okay.
I'll have to remember that the next time.
Because the ceiling's a little bit lower in your stateroom, especially depending on which
little bit lower.
Especially depending on which level of room you are booked.
Yeah.
So.
And also the restrooms throughout the ship, more comfortable. So it's your ship, man. Take advantage of it.
But talking about the actual amenities of the spa, they have this. Wait, let me pull it up. They have these chairs there. They're sauna chairs, heated spa chairs. They're ceramic, aren't they? They're ceramic chairs. And they're beautifully heated. And so you can I feel like an iguana in a terrarium, and it makes me happy.
Like the heat goes into your bones and into your joints. It's just like you feel warm and oh, I love it.
I previously had dreamt of these until Doobie just recently bought me a heated blanket on Amazon, and I no longer have to dream of them because this blanket delivers that type of encompassing. It's the type of warmth where my feet actually get warm. Other blankets, it's like electric blankets, I turn them on and parts of me get warm, but my feet are still cold. And for whatever reason, this one, the way the warmth is distributed, yes, warmth. And that's how these were too. What were you going to say, Jeremiah?
Well, I was going to move back into more of the ship when you guys are done with talking about the spa.
Okay, well, we'll talk a little bit more about the spa.
Yes, go ahead.
During the renovation, they made it a bit more tranquil. It was a bit less picturesque in its original incarnation, and they also prettied up the rainforest rooms. And these are locations where you would go and you can have like a variety of shower sprays and fragrances to refresh you. You can have it can be cool, it can be warm, it can be a downpour, it can be a mist, and then like I said, you can have a eucalyptus or whatnot. Enjoy. And they have these are an additional fee, but the rainforest rooms have been minimal. I feel like in many ways they're a way to just kind of get you to darken the door of the spa, and that way they can let you know about what else is available, and you can kind of bridge that initial step into the spa. But we've taken advantage of those a few times.
Yeah, the spas are kind of fun, even more so on the other ships, but we're not talking about those ships. But the Rainforest Cafe, nope, the Rainforest Room.
There it is.
I think this location is popular with Jeremiah. Am I right?
Is that the what is that? Is that the coffee shop?
Yeah, the Cove Cafe.
Yeah, this is the Cove Cafe upstairs on the top deck.
I've only gone in there a few times. I think every time I've been on a ship, I just don't stop walking because there's so much to see. Like even, this is the smaller ship, but I explored it so much. And I'm one of the people that, like Doobie, loves to get up early and walk the ship when there's nobody around and go up onto the top deck and just enjoy the beauty of it.
So what did you want to talk about, Jeremiah?
I wanted to talk about some of the cool artwork they have in the hallway. But first, this was something you showed earlier what it originally looked like. And this is what it looks like now.
Where's the other stairway?
I know. Isn't that strange? I had never seen the picture with the dual staircases, so seeing it like that was like, oh wow. I mean, I liked Mickey in the front in the center part, but that is definitely different.
But this makes it so much better as far as entering and exiting the restaurant, especially since so often you have families or larger parties trying to get in and out. So
yeah, that was one of my favorite things on the bigger ships is seeing everybody like trying to get into the restaurant and everybody crossing paths and nobody knowing really what's going on. Because the first day when everybody's just trying to grab food and that's usually one of the open places, I was confused my first time. But what I really want to talk about is along the hallways, they have all these great little pieces of art taught out the difference in the ships, or the difference with Disney Cruise Line, I should say, because they don't have a lot that's specific to the ship. And it's just, they have 10 different pieces of art that show, this one, the ship's almost as tall as the Eiffel Tower. My favorite, because I actually bought one of these pillows after my last cruise, is how many pillows are on board. And it's just, it's a fun way to learn. I definitely took the dive and bought the pillows and have not regretted it a single day since.
I'm sorry, Jeremiah. What did you buy?
Pillows.
A pillow?
Pillows.
Pillow?
Yes.
I heard
pillow.
Hello.
No, he bought a pillow.
Pillow.
Hello.
Pillow. I'm from California. It's a pillow.
Ratatouille. I remember these on the ship.
They're over by the movie theater, right between the lobby and the movie theater, as I recall.
And they have a nice art of the theme ship cruise tour thingy that you can take. That I do recommend you do at least once. It is it's not really an overview of the ship. It's more of a details like that of the ship, and it's highly recommended. Mike says, "Palo."
Pillow.
Do you? Oh, sorry, wrong button.
Hi.
Do you guys ever venture into the pools when you're on the ship? I know some people don't seem to use a pool at all.
The primordial soup.
Have you?
I try to but again, there's so much to see and do. And
what's funny is you keep saying there's so much to see and do, but you don't actually do any of it. You just see it.
I do. Hey, I played the miniature golf on the ship. But I do love sitting out and watching the what's the screen called on there?
Funnel vision.
Funnel vision, yes. And the trivia that appears on there is always fun. Here's me going down one of the slides.
I think my favorite part of cruising with Jeremiah is watching people curse his name during the trivia competition.
Oh,
because he wins them all. But it is fun when you're on his team. I do have to say, it's fun when you're on his team.
Yeah.
He didn't win them all, as I try to find mine. Maybe he took mine away.
I was told on my last cruise, I think I did 3, and I started throwing it, and the entertainment director, he's like, "You can play, but can you just let somebody else win, please?"
That's
it's
cute.
Yes.
We don't do the pools very much.
No, I love the slides. And on the Magic, they added the Aqua Dunk, which is different. The Aqua Duck is a very pleasant, leisurely jaunt all around the upper deck of the ship. And you find that on the large ships like the Fantasy and the Dream. But with the Magic, they've added a drop slide that is called the Aqua Dunk. And you climb to the top of the ship and you're there by the funnel and you get this view, which is just, I can't even begin to say how much I love this view. And you step into this vessel and they close it and it's like a plastic tomb. And then you cross your arms and they count down and the floor disappears and you drop. And it's fun, but I'll be honest, I prefer the aqueduct because I enjoy the view and everything more. And this one doesn't offer you that same kind of, just visual enjoyment. But this one, obviously, more thrill. And you can get a nice view from the top deck. And as a female, I'm very grateful for the way that down at the base, you can see in this image, like this yellow zone. That's a place that allows you to exit this thing in privacy. Like really the only visual that's going on is the cast member who's there for your safety. Because otherwise, come on, it's like those body slides. You end up with your swimsuits rearranging itself in all kinds of ways, right? So yeah.
That happens with me.
I can't speak to it. I can only speak to it.
No one wants to. No one cares that it happens to you.
He doesn't go on slides.
I know.
The male experience on a slide, but yeah, it's nice.
Water wedgie.
It's nice to be able to rearrange your wardrobe without an audience when you get off.
That's very true.
I'm extremely grateful.
So I see this actually goes over the edge of the ship. Does it give you a nice view there?
I don't recall there being much of a view. I thought it was. It's either totally encased, not visually very visible, or it's like all splashy, so you can't really see.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's very different than I can remember visuals when I'm on the aqueduct. I don't really remember that about the Aqua Dunk. I remember that one just being like, woohoo!
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, you're done. You don't have time for anything.
It's super fast. So you have to enjoy your walk up there, and they have like the Barbasol.
It's very unique.
They have the Barbasol storyline, right? All the way up to the top. You do like a little bit at a time. So.
And then the thing you showed earlier that Gideon was on is the Mickey slide, which is new there. They used to have a little tiny Mickey slide. Now they have a giant Mickey slide that Gideon just fell in love with and rode it. I think it was our last day when he finally got on there, and he just rode it all day long. So fun little slide. That's just.
So do you guys get off the ship at port, or are you smart and stay on and have all the fun stuff?
Do people get off the ship at some point?
Yeah.
No, we don't. We don't tend to get off the ship. Giddy very much enjoys the Oceaneer Lab, and so he goes and spends a lot of time in Oceaneer Lab, winning trivia contests and doing their science experiments and enjoying the slide in Andy's room, the Slinky Dog slide in Andy's room.
Did you ride that, Jeremiah?
And
I did.
In fact, I have to share kind of a funny reality of COVID. We usually do a cruise, an average once a year, and he's getting to that upper edge of Kids Club, and he's really worried he's going to age out before COVID allows us back on the cruise. Oh. And I'm just like, oh, that's one of those things you don't even think about, but it's like for him that's part of cruising, and the idea that it's just going to like stop being available to him is like. It's like a little disappointing. So yeah. it'll be interesting to see if that ends up being the reality or not.
So, and for you sea fans, the Disney Magic has the Oceaneers Lab. The way the kids clubs there, one is geared a little more towards older kids, one a little more towards younger kids, but kids are welcome to cross over. You're not restricted. So the Oceaneers Lab, the one for older kids, kind of has a Society of the Explorers and Adventurers theme. So if you're a sea fan between Tokyo and all that stuff, there's a spot for you on the Disney Magic as well. And most importantly, for Jeremiah, the kids clubs do have open hours where even the grown-up kids can go in there. The ones who are too tall to take a shower can still go ride the slide. So
doing the different media events, that is always one of the things that I love, is because they take us in before everybody usually boards the ship for the tour of everything. And even though, it's all geared for the kids, I definitely have taken advantage of the slide and the fun hand dryers or hand washers that they have.
Those are cool.
Which they should install everywhere now. I feel like Disney should just put those across Walt Disney World, Disneyland, because it does the proper amount of hand washing.
Yeah. And then in more recent years, they've added some Avengers theming into the Disney Magic. So they have Marvel's Avengers Academy, and you can like be Iron Man and stuff like that, WandaVision or whatever you want to be. Along with, they like have the Three's Company house in there now, right? So you can go. Never mind.
Wow, that's deep.
Entertainment. So the main theater is the Walt Disney Theater. That's where you get your Broadway caliber shows twice nightly. And the secondary theater is the Buena Vista Theater, and that's where you get your movies. The current shows on the Walt Disney Theater are Twice Charmed, which is a twisted version of Cinderella, Disney Dreams, a classic of the Disney cruise ships, and Tangled, the musical, their newest presentation. Any opinions on those, peeps? Jeremiah? No. Shelley?
I love Tangled. I got to go to the media event for that twice, and it's so well done. I think my favorite is Maximus the horse. He's my favorite part of the whole thing because, I mean, it's really well done. Those cruise ships, the shows are usually really interesting, but Tangled is done like next level.
And that's available now on the Cruise Line YouTube, or was it Disney Parks blog YouTube? Disney Parks blog YouTube. They posted several of the Disney Cruise Line shows, including Tangled. So if you haven't had a chance to see it, be sure and check it out over there because it is well done, very beautiful.
Jeremiah, do you like the shows?
I love Tangled. The other shows, being a Disneyland boy, Animazement is the best Disney montage show that they've done. So sitting through some of those, the ones that they do on the cruise, gets difficult. Like I've definitely, the one on the Dream is a little challenging to sit through past the first time.
Oh yeah.
I'm a sucker for their simplistic shows. Like they've changed them up over the years, but when we first were on board, they had kind of an all aboard show. And it was in essence, you were following this family as they got aboard the cruise ship. And it was really cleverly done. It reflected kind of the realities of what your day had been from the rush and the whatever, everything and all the kind of those stresses when you get on board, and then the overwhelming nature of everything that you're seeing, and all of a sudden you've got this massive to-do list because you're so excited, and then the acceptance and the falling into the enjoyment and peace of a cruise. And then you kind of follow that family. There were a couple of shows that featured that family arc through the cruise that I love them. And then the final night, when you would all gather in the atrium and they had their Till We Meet Again ceremony, and all the characters would be there lined up. And back the first time we traveled, like y'all saw, it was the atrium had the double staircase, right? So you had characters all the way, in front of you, up and down both staircases, on that balcony, down there in front of you. And then at the end, when they're singing the alma mater, they had this glittery confetti that just came. It was like as if they'd sprinkled pixie dust all. I was a ball. I was just tears, and I was videotaping it. So I'm trying not to cry, so that the camera would shake, but because it was so beautiful. And we'd gotten to know our staff by that point. We'd learned about their families. We learned, just more about who they were. And so you really did feel like it was kind of had that feeling like you had in camp. I don't know if you guys did the whole summer camp thing, but you'd met people, you made these friendships with people, and you knew chances were you were never there was no reason for you ever really to see them again. And even though it was a shallow relationship of just a few days or maybe woven a pot holder with them or something. You became odd friends, and you were sad to see them go. At camp, and it was.
There's potholder weaving on the cruise. Where did I miss
this? No, that's a summer camp activity. You weave potholders at summer camp. But yeah, so on your cruise, you would encounter really, really pleasant people, and we were actually fortunate enough to bump into some of them on cruises in the future as well. And we
saw this. Do you remember her name? I can't tell.
No, this is Angie.
We saw Angie many times, multiple times, and Dwight was her partner. Oh, they're not there anymore. Was her partner on there? And I mean, you're with them for 7 days. They're being paid to be there, but you just feel a bond. And so when we go on future cruises, if we see Angie, she would remember us. I don't
know how that's possible.
No,
but they did that. They did that so well.
But she would remember us from future cruises. I mean, not necessarily, but she would recognize, oh, you've been on my cruise before, and say hi, and we could ask her. And years and years and years later, we learned that Dwight finally achieved his dream of. He
was raising towards a cab company.
Yeah, but buy a cab or whatever, and
to establish a cab company.
He got his dream. He saved his money, and I don't know. There's just
it's so special.
And
go ahead, Jeremiah. What?
So I not to spoil Doobie, they remember you guys because of Rebecca. She's very unique. She stands out.
That's true. And the cruise ship, if you've never been on a cruise, be aware that cruise ships are the overwhelming majority of the cast members on cruise ships are not from America, from all over the world. So it's wonderful to get to talk to these people from all over the world, learn about their countries. They're obviously away from their families, so they love to talk about their families, if they have children or mom or dad or whatever back home, sisters and brothers, learn about their culture a little bit. It's just such a it's like World Showcase just blown up. It's such a wonderful opportunity to meet so many different kinds of people. Don't pass it up. Talk to the cast members. We went on Gideon's first cruise, not our first cruise. Gideon's first cruise when he was 7 months old. And to see some of these ladies in particular who knew that their children were back home, and to have a baby there that they could talk to, and they remind them of their kid. They could hold them, and I don't know. It was such a memorable part of cruising to meet the different kinds of people. Don't pass up that opportunity. Don't just run around and look at stuff as some people do. Talk to the people on the cruise. That is the most magical part for me. Are the people on the cruise, particularly the cast members. Truly magical.
There's a good picture of the aqua dunk.
There you go.
That's a thing that Jeremiah ran around and did.
Again, beautiful first thing in the morning. I do have to say, on my last cruise, my servers, I can't remember where they're from, but they throughout, because of the rotation, they actually gave these little handmade dolls that they themselves made, and they gave one to me, and it was just so nice.
No, by the way, David, no, he's chewing on his fingernails. It's like not quite the same.
Sorry, it's just don't worry about it. Let's see. So, seeing a movie on the cruise, by the way, fun. Buena Vista Theater, take advantage. They're not free, but they're included. And let's see, we talked about the pools, Aqua Dunk. There's now an Aqua Lab, kind of a kid splash zone on the Disney Magic. Wasn't there on opening day, but it's there now. The Funnel Vision. If you want to get completely away from the kids, first of all, you hardly ever see them. They're in the kids club. They're either in the kids club or they're in the pool. Every place else, there aren't very many kids. But if you want to make sure there are no kids, 2 places you can go. 3 places you can go. Palo, we talked about. 2, there's an adult area up on top. That's where they have the adults only pool, and Disney does a great job of policing that area. I've read that some cruise lines do not police the adults area very well. Disney polices them wonderfully. So there's a adults only pool up there, a couple of adult only jacuzzis. There's also the Cove Cafe up there, which is a nice coffee bar and some really cushy chairs like they showed Rebecca sitting in. And then the third adult area, it used to be called Beat Street back in the day, but now they call it After Hours. And that is, I believe, Deck 3 forward. And that is where they have the adults only clubs. They're actually, when they're used during the day, they're family clubs, but after about 8 o'clock, they go to adults only. There's Keys, which is a piano bar. It's a nice place to relax, listen to some music, formerly called Sessions. There's O'Gill's Pub, which is, I think it's still predominantly a sports
predominantly a sports bar.
Yeah. Used to be called Diversions. And then there's Fathoms, which is kind of the big club area where they'll put shows on, originally called Rock and Bar D. So those are the places to hang out at night. One thing to keep in mind, adult is relative on a Disney ship. So things shut down around midnight. So if you're like one of those hardcore adults, then things shut down around midnight. And while Disney in their adult area will push things all the way up to PG-13, they tend not to push things all the way up to rated R. So it's still Disney. It's just adult Disney.
Yep.
Which for me, I appreciate very much. It is exactly where I want to be. In bed by 12 and hearing nothing worse than I would see in a Marvel movie. Exactly where I want to be. You guys like the adult areas at all? Did you get to experience those at all, Shelley, on your media events? Yeah?
Well, I mean, I've done other Disney cruises, and it's very similar to that. I mean, I know we were on the fantasy ones, and they had like a little, in the big club, they had a, act out the song kind of competition. Like, it's your time after, like you said, the kids are away, you don't really see them anyway. It's your time just to hang out, let loose. They usually have really good drink specials. Have a good time, just like chilling out, dancing. And that's the thing. Like you said, there are 3 clubs, so you can either be crazy, you can be low key, or you can just kind of hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think. Go ahead, Jeremiah.
One of the things that I've experienced on some of the cruises in the club is they do silent DJs at times, which if you've not had a silent DJ party, it's one of the most fun things you could do. And I know I took people into one that nobody had been to a silent DJ, and we started requesting them. Like, not all the ships were doing them, so we started they're like, what would you like to see on future cruises? We're like, silent DJs. Because you just put on headphones and it's usually 3 different stations. One's like classic rock, one is current rock, and then one is usually Latin alternative. And just watching everybody dancing to the different things and rocking out is hilarious. And it's fun on my side too.
And as people who have often had a stateroom just one level below it, those are some of my favorite nights during the cruise, because I don't get the afterbeat of the nightclub. I'm
curious, Jeremiah, when you do the silent DJ, is that when you practice your electrical parade routine?
It is. I try it as much as possible. I'm hoping some days so I can audition again to just.
No? Oh, okay.
I don't even know anymore.
Okay.
I think we're getting ready to wrap up. So why don't we share some of our favorite items as we begin to kind of, wind down the talk of digging a little deeper on the Disney magic. What you got, Shelley?
I tend to spend, and I tend to splurge a lot on the Disney cruise lines when I go. This is such a special thing, and I want to get something very special to commemorate my time there. So on a few of the ships, there's actually a Tiffany's, and you can get, see if I can do this, special Disney cruise line.
Well, that's pretty.
Necklaces. So it's got the regular Tiffany and Company, but it's got Disney cruise line. And that's the only place you can buy them is on a cruise line.
Very cool. How about you, Jeremiah?
Well, Shelley took mine. I was going to show off my Tiffany heart cruise. No, I've shown this. I've shown this a few times. Each of the ships has their own special atrium statue, and this is Captain Mickey. Admiral Donald is on the Dream. So what I do usually on the night of the show, I will buy it, and then I'll have the captain who's out sign it and put the date on it. So it's just something that is a pure memory of my first time on that ship cruising. And then I also do love my trivia medals, plastic medals. Yeah, we can all, because those are those are fun. I have great memories with our CEO doing some music trivia on one of our cruises. Hopefully at some point I'll have some great memories with you guys on a cruise.
I hope so. I would love the opportunity to go head to head against Jeremiah in a trivia contest. It'd be fun. I'm sure you would win, but I'd love to give you a run for your money.
I am not sure. It would be embarrassing for Jeremiah.
So
I do not say that I would win. There are many things that I am not good at. I'll just leave it at that for you, Doobie.
Hold up what your favorite thing is. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. You can talk about it.
This is what I got after I did this. You won Puny Trivia. I won Who Wants to Be a Musketeer. On the first night of my first cruise, we went to what was then called Studio C. And I got in the hot seat and I took it all the way. And that was my prize.
That was back during the whole, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire era. So they had like a 50-50. They had, you could ask the audience, all that kind of thing. But Doobie won. And because he won, like, when how he's talking about with people meeting people on the cruise, all the rest of the cruise, people would be like, "Oh, you're the Musketeer guy," and so he was loving it all throughout the cruise.
I was loving it. Here I am in action winning. Look at that! All that training comes in handy.
Popular 1959 Disney film was originally filmed for television audiences. Right?
Yeah, I feel like I may have had to use a 50-50 or something.
I think that was Ask the Audience in my family. My brother who is Disney trivia guy in our.
What's the answer?
I don't remember, and the choices are blocked, so I couldn't even tell you what the choices are.
We'll never know.
Although if my brother's watching, he'll.
And another point of pride for me, technically not from the cruise ship, but from
Castaway Cay, which is a whole other topic.
I did the Castaway Cay 5K.
So did Jeremiah. Very cool.
What was your time?
No.
Well, hey, if we want a good tease for a future show, there's a story behind this.
Okay.
Ooh.
We will save that for a Castaway Cay episode.
Yes. But it is a great story that I will tell every time. But yes, again, we all need to go on a cruise so we can all go do these fun things together.
I agree, 100%.
Get Zoe on there too. Zoe and Gideon can race.
Yeah.
I think on our next show, I'll talk about the time I auditioned to be in Billy Hill and the Hillbillies. That'll be a fun little story.
Are you mocking me?
I might be. What's that? Is that our gold one?
Yeah.
Gold?
Yeah, I know. It's not going to be gold next time.
Oh, platinum. Our next cruise is a platinum cruise.
We're so excited.
Let's see. Anything else we should mention?
Nope, that's it. I think that's all. I think we can just start talking about what's happening tomorrow. Well, actually,
the rest of today. Coming up at 7:00 is LP In Depth. We're going to be talking a bit about the sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom as it fades off into the Today's the last day. So if you haven't done it, the park might be closed already. Too late.
Yep.
You got an hour, I think, today.
Get over there. Last chance to do Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. And then tomorrow at 1:30 Pacific Time, Marvel Mondays, WandaVision with Mac, as he will discuss Friday's episode of WandaVision, which was a good one. If you haven't seen it, get over to Disney Plus and watch it. It was a very, very good one. Starting to get some of this mystery revealed. And then at 4 p.m. on Monday, Pacific Time, as always, we'll have our weekly Disney Parks Talk Live with myself, my wife, my Mike C., and my Jeremiah, as we talk about the week in Disney news. And then at 7:30 p.m., the LP Movie Club will be in and of itself with the LP Movie Club crew. Thank you for tuning in. Please do us a favor and like this stream. Subscribe to us wherever you're watching us. Ring that bell on YouTube so you know whenever we go live. Shelley, can you show off your Spirit jersey to everybody?
Oh, I did it.
Look at that. Castaway Cay Spirit jersey.
Spirit jersey.
That's nice.
Back in the first early adopter.
Thank
you. Castaway Cay too. I just have Disney Cruise on.
So, Jeremiah, can you show off your back to us?
See, mine.
There's nothing on it. No.
I just wanted to end broadcast while you were facing the other way.
Mine
has a nautical Mickey and Minnie kissing, but you're not on camera there. There we go. We got it. All right.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. It's not working. Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right. Show your cup again, Shelly.
Yay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.